The book I read is called Paper Towns by John Green, and the book is narrated from the point of view of a teenage boy called Quentin, and it's basically his story with his neighbor Margot. Quentin has always been in love with her since they were little kids, and they used to be really friends, but as they got older, they also grew apart and became much more separate until one day when Margot decides to go at night at Quentin's window and asks him for help to go and get revenge of her ex-boyfriend that had actually just dumped her. As much as Quentin wanted to say no, he says yes because he loves her so much that he has to do this for her. They go on, I would say, this night of adventure in which they had 11 things to do planned by Margot, of course, and those 11 things are to get revenge of her boyfriend and different enemies that she has. And after doing this, the next day, Margot just disappears. So Quentin is tenacious that he has to find her and follow the clues that she leaves that will eventually lead to her. So he and three of his best friends get together and try to search her. They do road trips, they go to abandoned houses. It's really interesting. The characters in the book are all really unique and different. I really loved all of them, and they're also relatable. I think that by the fact that they're all teenagers and about our age. But Margot, she has a really unique personality. Quentin thinks she is really naive, but I don't think this. I think that she is really smart and really aware of all the consequences of what she's doing. She is always with the popular crowd. She's full of mysteries. She's also really selfish. She is always doing things that will be beneficial for her. She is not afraid of taking risks. One example of that is the M that she writes on the walls of everyone that she goes inside their houses and to get revenge the night before that she disappears. So she leaves this big M in the wall, which is really risky. Quentin, he is the opposite of Margot. He is with the non-popular crowd. He thinks of himself as a really unsightly person. He has no self-esteem. He's really shy, but he's also a really dynamic character. He changes a lot throughout the book. The Quentin in the beginning of the book is really different from the Quentin in the end of the book. Margot completely changes him. At first, he's really shy, and in the end, he's really adventurous and much more willing to take risks. His three best friends are Ben, Raider, and Lacey. Ben is a prom addicted, that's the only thing he talks about. Raider is a nerd guy, and Lacey, she's a character that I didn't really like in the beginning of the book, but then we find out that she's pretty cool. I think that the theme that John Green is trying to pass to us with the story and what is left most implied in the book is the false perception that we have on people, and he shows this by the way that Quentin is completely in love. He's blindly in love with Margot, and he can only see the good things in her. He cannot see her selfish side. He cannot see that everything that she's doing, she is thinking about her. And I really like John Green's way of writing. He uses a lot of metaphors, which I really appreciate. One of the most famous metaphors in the book is Orlando is a paper town, which is said by Margot and means that Orlando is a fake city and everything is just put there to look pretty or pretend that everything is right when that's not the case in many of the times. I also really like that the book is told by the point of view of a teenage boy, which makes us understand the story much better because the language is so much more easier. And one of the things that I also appreciated, it was actually the favorite part of the book for me, was in the last chapter that they go on a road trip, a 20-hour road trip to try to find Margot, and it's divided in 23 hours, hour to hour, which we can get a sense of how long it took and all the things that they had to go through. And I thought it was really interesting. I really liked the book and I really recommend it.